Hi everybody, this is Scott Weidenkivowitz, and today I just want to talk a little bit about dimension in a photograph. What I mean is, when you process a photograph, I notice a lot of photographers tend to just apply effects over the entire image. And while that can be okay in some situations, it's not always the most effective way, especially when it comes to landscape photography. So if you take a look at this photograph, you'll see I'm in onOne Software's Perfect Photo Suite 8. More specifically, I'm in Perfect Effects. And the beauty about Perfect Effects is it's sort of like Photoshop, where you have layers that you can work with. And right now I'm on the base layer. I did a bunch of edits inside of Adobe Lightroom, and then I exported to Perfect Effects for me to then go on and add more edits to the photograph. And I didn't want to do it all using Lightroom's local adjustments because I'm very limited. So the beauty about Perfect Effects is there's tons and tons of really cool presets that I can then add to an image at any point in time without any hassle. So what I would do pretty much is I'd pick an effect and then add new layer, mask it, and so on and so forth. And so I want to show you what I did to this photograph to give you an idea of what I mean by dimension and how local adjustments can really add that dimension. So you see here, I got one image. I did some color balancing. I did a little bit of clarity. I did some local adjustments on the rocks to bring that out a little bit. But then I can do a lot more. However, Lightroom's kind of limited to really what I could do to the photograph. So here I am. I'm going to throw on the glow layer, what I did, and you'll see the glow layer in a second. And there it is. There's a glow layer, and you can see here that it is a very, very small opacity. It's not very strong whatsoever. It just adds a little bit of dynamic sort of look to the rocks bleeding into the grass and the water and the greenery and whatnot. So that's the glow effect. And that is on the entire image. The next effect I added is another type of glow, but you can see here I actually masked it away. So watch what happens. Now I've got another glow sort of just on here, and it's not doing anything. It's not doing anything to the rest of the image. It's only doing stuff to the rocks right here. And you can see, let me take that away again, it just brought that out a little bit more. There you go. Actually, I don't think it's a glow. It is, actually it's a color. So it's actually like a vibrance type thing going on over here. And then the next layer I did is a dynamic contrast using the same exact mask. So I can actually copy the mask layer from the previous layer, or any layer really. And look at that. Look how much detail it brought out. This is actually the dynamic contrast that's inside of onOne Software's Perfect Effects. And if I go down a little bit, you'll see what it can do. You can actually control the contrast of specific areas, highlights, shadows, whites, blacks, etc. And control actually small, medium, and large details separately from each other. Again, let me take that away so you can see the difference. Now it's more flat and more of a glow. And now it has the glow, but it also has a lot more contrast. And the rocks really stand out. The last thing I wanted to do was make sure that your eyes are paying more attention to the rocks than anything in the background. So I added, there used to be in onOne Software a software called Focal Point, and then it was renamed Perfect Focus, and now Perfect Focus is actually part of Perfect Effects, and I can actually add some like tilt shift type effects using different focus points right inside of here. And now if you look at the difference of the background, and let me take away all the effects. Watch the background. Look at that. So now I went from a flat image to one that is more bringing your eye closer to the rocks. And I'm adding dimension. I'm adding layers of dimension for what you could actually pay attention to. You're not just looking at one flat image that is, everything's in focus or everything has one effect. It all is separate from each other. And here, if I do it before and after, side by side, let's do it up, top and bottom. Okay, let's take that away. So you can see here, once the little masking bug disappears. So look at the difference. Even small, you can see that the one down here has more pop than the other one. So there you go. Actually, let me do this as well, just to make it a little bit easier. So check this out. It's not letting me grab it, probably because of the masking bug. But anyway, you get the idea. So let's close that back out. Add dimension by adding layers, using local adjustments, mask away effects. Don't just rely on an effect over the entire image. Use local adjustments and do some masking. Thanks for watching.